Alright, let's begin. And hopefully the bitrate won't crash. Been a while since we've streamed. If anybody is out there, let me know. The capital where the Bachelor returned in disgrace after the step town perished. So if you don't know about Pathologic, this is a game where basically you're playing as one... where you are playing as one of a handful of protagonists. At least the first game you played as one of a handful of protagonists. And a small step town was you were responsible for finding a cure or a solution to the problem that they were having involving a plague. And this, Pathologic 2, just focused on the story of the Harrispecs in a remade high-graphic version. And this one focuses on the story of The Bachelor. And so I'm guessing that this is, I forget what it's called. Not Tabithia. Oh, of course, now that goes out. Every time. I always send it out just a few minutes too early. Let's talk.
I'll follow you through hell, but not high water. If it gets to high water, that's on you.
Why aren't you at the interrogation yet, Bachelor? You're supposed to be there already. They told me it's not an interrogation, actually. They just want to talk. I'm a witness, not a suspect. For now.
Venit mors velociter, rapid nos atrociter, nemini parsetur.
So this game doesn't have actual dialogue for all, or voice dialogue for all of the text that you see, but every time you talk to a character, they have some new dialogue. And all of these people are new, so I have no idea who Playton or the other woman was. Hang on, Chief. Did they summon you because of Thanatica? That's the name of his, of the place he's in charge of, his research facility. Will the order to shut the laboratory down be revoked? Postponed? So no, I believe I was summoned because of the sand plague. They fear the epidemic might have already spread here to the capital. So you're the doctor who first discovered this deadly epidemic? This, dirt disease. Is it true that it killed off a whole step town in a week? 25,000 dead? Listen to me. All of this is just hearsay. Please leave our director alone. He has important work to do, and you, Chief, should hurry off now. Your appointment is at 8. No, answer me this. Since you're the one in charge, is it true or not? You said that this disease was already in the capital? And I never said that. I said they believe the epidemic might have already spread here. That is what I said, and the bureaucrats are usually wrong. What in the Samuel? So in the second game, which this is a direct sequel or side sequel to, Day 8, in which the Bachelor says farewell to hopes and tries to flee the... I missed all that because I was looking away. But anyway, the way that this game's story took place in the second game is that you have like this first brief period where you're actually not... it's not like the start of the story. You start at kind of the end, and you see the result of what happens should you fail. You see the chaos. The way the second game started, it was really cool. This one is different so far. You can go no further, quarantine. Enough cawing. It's I who set up the quarantine in the first place. I didn't recognize you at first glance. You've changed quite a bit after a week in our town. I'm Sava Kremenets, number 72, the last volunteer orderly of the Volunteer Orderlies Corps. Since you are here, consider this my resignation. The last volunteer, the last post, the last frontier, how quickly it all came to an end. You promised to save our town, but all you leave behind are ashes and graves. What lies ahead of you is not the step, but a fog of uncertainty. So where will you go now, O man who lost to death? I'll return to the capital. They're shutting down Thanatica. My lab and the academy must hear of this dreadful disease. People whisper rumors that the only doctor in town plans to abandon them to flee. The most unfortunate, the survivors already planned their own escapes. Could they be saved? I mean, the Sandpest should be kept within the town's limits, or else it will devour the whole nation. Some of the survivors might be infected. Quarantine means quarantine, after all. Each decision leads to regret the next day. Each step, the abyss. How can one sleep after that? Oh, also, he likes to speak Latin every now and then, the bachelor, the guy we're playing as, just because he's a prick. Vita somnium breve. What does that mean? Somnium, that's sleep. Brave, brief. I think he's basically saying go take a nap. Nightmares multiply in darkness. It's their nutrient medium, just like blood for the plague. Yeah, I'm not afraid of nightmares. Reality is much more horrific. The light of salvation burns and then fades like hope, like someone's life on a hospital bed. You think you'll manage to escape. She already follows you, trying to reach you. She won't just let you leave. Who is she? The plague? You're a fool, Bachelor Dankovsky. Conscience. Of course it's conscience. You cannot run from your conscience, not even on a train. No, you'd be lucky to even board that train alive. In what form your consciousness assumes, that is on you and your broken imagination. Sorry, checking something real quick. My conscience is clear. I did all I could for the town. One person alone cannot fight an outbreak of an unknown disease. Come back to where you came from, Doctor. Try to become your old self again. Just don't forget the matches. Thank you, 72. It's really you for your volunteer service. If it's really you for your volunteer service. You too did all you could. Press G. Okay, so this is very new. Oh, okay. I guess I have to throw from a much farther range. That was ominous. So I guess I'm doing this again. Oh, I was aiming at that, not the bull. Yeah, I totally missed that. Whoops. Q. Oh, that's a different button. Can't smell anything because of the step herbs, and my head keeps swimming. Can I? I wonder if that's different than what's actually going to be seen. I might have to change that hotkey. Alright, so another match, I guess. Didn't see anything like that this time, or last time. So if this is consciousness, or conscience. That thing is creepy as hell. So do I need to light all these? Why not? Current thoughts? Current thoughts? I'm thoughtless. Story of my life. Ooh. The stench, ow, ow, I'm going to be ill. Excuse me, there's a fire right there? Alright. The day before in which Bachelor leaves the capital to venture to the edge of the world. Okay, we're gonna change that hotkey here. Oh, can I not change the hotkey yet? Alright, well, this is a demo, so alright, that's just gonna take some getting used to. They feed on blood. We used to keep Calyptra thalictry here. But the simple, fragile butterflies that feed on flowers and light were stronger. I'll be there. Just give me a minute. We are dying every minute in our lives. I have challenged this unfortunate phenomenon. An undoubtedly surmountable phenomenon. A pill to cure the void. We're seeking the cure to old age and death.
You asked for it. You got it, Chief. You have too much of a spine.
You hear those peculiar footsteps on the stairs. I thought it was someone trying to break down the door, so okay. Ominous footsteps. I think they're coming for us. If they catch you here, there's no telling what might happen. You could even be arrested. Shall I continue? The ruling goes on. Your Thanatica, the nation's only laboratory specializing in novel life extension techniques, comes across a pseudoscientific wild goose chase. This so-called effective immortality project. There'll be an inquiry based on our results at the Academy Special Commission, which, as you know, Karlovich is on. They'll wipe the floor with your Karlovich, and he'll just throw up his hands like he did with the immunology affair last year. He's not going out on a limb for you. Wasn't it him in July going around here saying he was disappointed, or do I have him mixed up with someone? It happens when you're tired. Karlovich will help me if I present clear evidence. Oh, but there's more. Has, according to a number of scientists, including Voronin, Zegler, and Vilanovich, achieved significant breakthroughs? We can skip this part. There, in view of the Academic Council deeming it to lack any prospect whatsoever, the only rational course of action would be to suspend the research, transfer the laboratory to the peer review of the Chemistry Institute, and dismiss its staff. I can recite it from memory by now. Perhaps you could retell it in verse, Platon. It would calm you down and put things in broader perspective. I'd sooner lose a wife, an arm, and an eye than Thanatica. And why does it have to be now? We just got a cellular level reaction. You don't have a wife. Given the way you live, you never will. Fine, no wife. So make it both eyes and both arms. After all, I've got you and Platon. Platon? I keep saying Platon because I'm thinking it's like plutocratic. And Platon, I'll do fine. Actually, there is still hope, Bachelor. If we present them the immortal man from the central step, what was his name? Shine? Raven? Kane. Simon Kane. No time, colleagues, no time. They're already climbing the stairs. Denkoski, you need to run. There'll be no commission while you're gone. We can stall the proceedings. Go and fetch us an immortal right away. We'll tell them that you're away on that trip. For once the red tape will play into our hands. We'll stall reports, audits, you name it, and appeal if all else fails. But if they find you, they'll convene and force us to testify, and we won't be able to wriggle out of it. I agree. If you leave before you're handed the ruling, it's their fault for missing you. But if you wait until afterwards, that's obstruction. They won't miss a chance to hold it against you. They'll use whatever pretext they can. What about you two? Bah, what would they want with us? You're the big-name scientist, so act like it. You're the one they need. And that Shine person, it's just who you need. Kane. Oh, for God's sake, Platon, shall we toss him out the window? That's it, they're here, hear those voices? They must be deciding whose head is hard enough to batter down the door with. Get out, the eastbound train departs at 4:15. You can make it, go right now. If you go, you can make it right on time. Jesus Christ. Fine, I'll go. Oh wait, one last thing. Have a look at this while you're on your way. You've been promising to for 3 months already. But you never found the time. It's a tool for studying tuberculosis, the air humidity thing. Remember? Kaufman, Gorski, Anestein? Right. This postgraduates with their heads in the clouds. It's long best time we got reaction. Let's say, how does it work? There's no time. Take their papers and read them on your way. We have more pressing issues right now. Case in point, when's report S-104 coming in? You know, in the Pathological. Is he trying to be funny or what? Get out, Chief. Use the back door and don't come back without your immortal. Good luck. Thank you. Was someone going out this door?
Why do they continue to normalize death?
Wait, just one more thing. One more? What might that be? Take care of yourself, Chief. You're so reckless, head always in the clouds. You don't really know how to fend for yourself, do you? Do you even care about yourself? As if you are any different, Seraphima. We're all doomed without you. Please abide by the protocol. Enough of this. Are you armed? I am not fond of weapons. Qui gladio ferit, gladio parit. Daniel, are you armed? Seraphima, do you really believe that the steppe is such a wild country? Please just take it with you. It will come in handy. Best I can do is point it at someone and pretend it's loaded. Might not work on the bears, though. Well, at least point it then. You can be very persuasive sometimes, Chief. Best of luck to you and Playton, Seraphima. Hey, starting off with a gun. Nice. No ammo. Alright.
Freeze!
Yeah, stay back. I got a gun. Is that an actual mechanic this time, using the gun to intimidate? 1 second. Let me take a drink. All right. So there's no flashlight or anything. Open doors, and I'm just leaving. Okay, so now we're in this central room here.
I'm Daniil Denkovsky, Bachelor of Medicine. My research into the limits of human life has brought me renown. I've devoted all my energy and remarkable intellect to combating the greatest fear that binds humanity, the inevitability of imminent death. Seeking proof of my theories, I traveled to a small, steep town to examine a person of phenomenal longevity, Simon Kane. But I walked into a trap. The moment I arrived there, an unknown disease struck the town. It devoured the town like a wildfire. Its contagion and lethality surpassed anything humanity had ever faced. And I became the only doctor standing in the way of this unprecedented pestilence.
All right. Sorry. But it was not properly notifying me of stuff. I always thought a step was pronounced, or steep was pronounced step. So
Your
now I know.
talent doesn't have too many admirers. Everyone's against you. Tegla, Vilanovich, Voronin. Shall I continue?
Alright, now this guy, this is a nerd in every step of the word. Let's go back to your testimony, Bachelor Denkovsky. Right, my testimony. Let's try to remain level-headed. The ministerial inspection of your lab, the Attica, began in early September. Your presence was required at all times. Instead, you dashed off across the country to a backwater town to bring back what might be described as, yes, an immortal man. Yes, this town had an outbreak of some fever the scientific community had no knowledge of. As luck would have it, you were the only medical professional at the site of the event. You were forced to remain there since leaving was impossible. You led the effort to combat the epidemic and, evidently, took on some field research as well. Accurate so far? Accurate so far. You did not succeed. A complete failure. It goes without saying that one would be foolish to fault a medical specialist in a situation like yours. The remoteness, the lack of communication, the hostile environment, terrible conditions for scientific work. What doctors could have possibly succeeded in those? No one blames you. On the contrary, many stop short just of saying I deliberately brought the infection to the capital. Perhaps I should have walled myself in with a lab report pinned to my corpse. And this is The Bachelor. That's weird that we're seeing it in this perspective. Oh, now I'm viewing it from him? I said I don't blame you, didn't I, Bachelor, for any of it. Did you hear me? Besides, that ordinance from last year. What? What? Did something surprise you? I suppose we can't rule out a setup. Too many coincidences that That letter about Simon lures me to the town. No one shows me Simon. The whole place locks down, trapping me. And while I'm left to die, Thanatica is destroyed just before a scientific breakthrough. My final hours are spent studying the sand pest. Crafty, I must admit. I feel as if you no longer know who you are. I look at you and feel frightened, like I'm facing someone who isn't human. What do you want to know? What could I have done? All right. My first idea was quarantine. I needed time to study the disease, so I isolated patients in their homes. No, I isolated entire districts. I tried to get at least a day ahead of it. It was spreading too swiftly, and, of course, I ensured that no one could leave the town. Were you always aware of the consequences of your decisions? Ah, you refer to the popular discontent. I didn't need love from them, only discipline. A difficult surgery can't be performed on a resisting patient. That's why patients get tied up, held down, or anesthetized. Every step I took was justified, or the town wouldn't have lasted even those 7 days. You spent 12 days in the Gorkon area. I have my file on the desk here. You familiarized yourself with it, correct? Okay, so even the mind map is different. Important events happen every day. Select a day to recall what transpired. Oh. Fascinating. So the game normally has 12 days that you play through. It's looking like we're going to actually get the chance to play through some of them. So this is afterwards. Okay, so on day 2, he learns that the immortal man is dead. Day 3, he discovers the plague. Day 4, it's as if Simon Kane never existed. The powers that be lured me to this town. They knew it was approaching. They're using me. Day 5, no more clues. Everyone who could know anything about Simon Kane's death, or even if he existed, is dead. Day 6, connected to day 10, which is connected to day 1. Day 7, no one to count on. The Inquisitor's arrival hasn't saved the town. It's broken its spine. Day 9, no more rulers, no more heirs, and the inheritance will be gone any day now. The army brings in their cannons. Is it your Warren Dankovsky, or is it for the whole town? Day 10, Eva Jan has taken her own life. Okay, that's... Ooh, I'm hoping we can avoid that one. That was a big thing in the first game, is depending on who you play as, she ends up taking her own life. Spasmi mortis, something death. The town's agony nears its final rest. The plague smiles on its ruin. Death is victorious. Bachelor Dankovsky has suffered the disgraceful defeat. Okay, so this is seeing the events afterwards still. So most of these events should be able to be changed. We should be able to save the heirs. We should be able to save other stuff. Hey, what's up, Arcsage? Appreciate the gifted subs. I don't know why I said Arcsage, just the first thing there. Thanks, Vaughn. Hopefully work's going smoothly for you. Oh, day 1, okay. This is connected very weirdly. The polyhedron, an incredible tower, is overlooking the bridge square. It's closed. That leads us all the way down. Could I do that for Thanatica? Oh, can you defy reality and physics to rebuild your Thanatica? Okay, so this is what's connecting day 1 to 5 to 10, whatever it was. The tower falling. Okay, so that's... The tower gets shot down, or does it actually collapse in this? The miracle tower tilts, cracks. Town nears its final rest. The plague smiles. Okay. So this kind of can give you a highlight of everything that's going to happen. We don't need to actually go through everything, though. Right? A little boy caught my sleeve, anxious about some mongrel. It's no concern of the Bachelor. He should go to the local sawbones. I swear off dealing with animals. Okay, so a lot of this is just going to be like, oh, somebody needed my help, and I said, nah. Where's this one start at? Simon Kane is your only chance to save Thanatica. I can't meet that supposedly immortal man. People have lost their minds. Local lady was kind enough to let me stay with her, and then that's Eva. Took her own life. Okay. Alright. Let's not go through all of it right now.
Reverence for hierarchy, idolatrous veneration, and other useful life skills.
Wow. Why are you looking at me like that? As if you're seeing this for the first time. As if this is the first time. It's not like I've rummaged through your papers. Alright, let's look at the 5th day. Remember when you seemingly admitted the vaccine was possible? You had volunteers brought to you and inoculated them with sandpest. Are you still with me, Dankowski? Look me in the eye. Are you still here? No, incorrect from the start. Do you intend to provoke me with that preposterous document? What is your goal, Inspector? Look at that trembling lip. I won't be intimidated. I'm a doctor. Yeah, well, hope you enjoy. Right now it's very different from the second game. We'll see how it continues. I'm doing the wrong voice. I won't be intimidated. I'm a doctor, a scientist. Do you hear me? I've come back from hell. From a hell the phantasms of a nightmare could never portray. And I worked there as a doctor. Do you understand? A doctor, not an exterminator or inquisitor, not a police inspector or army commander. I am a medical professional. You're an intelligent man, Dr. Dankowski, one with decisive judgment, unafraid to make mistakes and answer for them. I admire you. Alright, peace out. Thanks for stopping by. Enough with that tone. Don't you grow tired of it yourself. Put this on record. That backwater didn't have a hospital, understand? It did not even have a hospital. But it did have a theater, so I repurposed it somewhat into a hospital. I studied patients there. Creating a vaccine was a priority. That's what I did. I vaccinated people. An hour ago, you said the vaccine was impossible. Creating a vaccine isn't as simple as brewing a cup of tea. The disease mutated fast. The scientific community had never seen anything like it. I had to create a vaccine every day. Do you understand? A new one each time. All the while, I had no equipment, no lab. I had to improvise new methods in a matter of minutes. Records from the 5th day state that out of 780 patients vaccinated, 412 died. Well, let's hope I don't have to vaccinate 800 people in this game. Oh, so Act 1 is already done with that. We might actually beat this demo in one run. D5, which the Bachelor winds up the people and has to rewind. My current goal, 3rd one at the hospital. The plague runs rampant. I still hope to find a vaccine, but for now, only the quarantine protects people. Senor. Is that Senor? Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced. Senor, you're here upon the stage once more. The man who made a hospital out of the theater will have eyes on him aplenty. Do you know what the orderlies behind your back are whispering? No. What are they whispering? They say you have a seesaw on your head. They picture you a man atop a board, atop a barrel, gun in hand, aiming as you roll and teeter to and fro. Quit distracting me with idle chatter. Extremes, senor. Extremes can kill you dead. One moment mired in apathy is the next in mania, trying to do everything at once. You're caught between your pounding heart and your 2 hesitating feet. A man of impulse, yet sometimes paralyzed. That there is your seesaw. This is all just speculation. As we stand here in the theater, let me then play the doctrinal sky balance, the golden mean. Though you may not be swept to Scylla or to Charybdis? I don't know what that is. And even now, what do you feel as soon as you approach the sick and indifference and gloom begin to burden you? You are exaggerating again. If I were really so depressed as to be catatonic, I wouldn't have even started this conversation. With me you would, for I am but a player, a figment only of your mind. Indeed, senor, you hardly speak when your heart races or when your mind has gone too quiet. I need to keep this unfortunate inclination in check. The strongest treatment is right here, the same we use to numb the hopelessly sick. These drugs may work for you as well, but mind that you take them, mind that Mine's that as you take them, you become accustomed to them, and you need more and more each time. Oh shit, is that gonna be a mechanic? Hey, self-consciousness, what's up? Thanks for the spam, appreciate it. Let's just go ahead and block you, shall we? I didn't expect I'd be choosing between using medication on myself or on a patient. But there are other ways as well. A drink and a smoke, perhaps, things you may not expect can stabilize you, to warm yourself by the fire or wash yourself in cold water. Even a kicking a trash bin in frustration. You will know what helps you best. You are scientists, so experiment. Quite an experiment, measuring the psychological effect on kicking cans. I'll be sure to report my findings to the Capitol. And yet it wouldn't hurt to take some pills with you. Who knows what madness lies ahead? Take something from the hospital supplies. Besides the other fronts you struggle on, there is the struggle within yourself, senor. What could be harder? You could have just said, medica cura te ipsum. New item, tobacco, camp, or bromide, strychnine. So I have no idea what the top is there. Is time actually progressing? Doesn't look like it. Is there even a reason to talk? If you think you're seeing something terrifying, it's always just people in masks. They're just people in masks. They'd pass for Greek chorus if this were a tragedy, but it's all vaudeville. Oh, I'm experiencing apathy? Oh god, is the game like gonna force me to be a prick and not talk to people if like my mood falls below a certain point? Okay, so let's see. I'm looking for cabinets, right? Okay. Oh wait, take all. So what does this do? I believe that cigarettes have a calming effect, but in fact nicotine is a stimulant addictive. With each use, the effect becomes weaker. Oh god, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. Stimulant erupfacient? Causes irritation just like everything else in this damned place. Mania +5. Increases inhibition in the cerebral cortex. In other words, dulls the brain. Sometimes that's exactly what I need. Apathy +25. That makes you more apathetic. Relieves any pain, both physical and mental. In return, it asks only for your sharpness of thought. Many people take that deal. Addictive. With each use, the effect becomes weaker. Strychnine, a poison, which is the same as medicine, invigorating in small doses. Addictive. With each use, the effect becomes weaker. Why would you want to up your mania? Blood, bile, and phlegm have been companions of doctors since ancient times. We make medicines from caustic bile. Alright, so I guess we're trying to reduce our apathy. So it's mania versus apathy. Okay. Hey, you know what? Let's just take it.
Think. Damn it.
Okay. Prototype was made when we were trying to fight tuberculosis pathogens. In theory, it purifies the air of microorganisms with sound at a frequency beyond human perception, destroying their cell membranes. If only it could kill them inside the human body, the device would be priceless. Okay, let's go back here and talk to these guys first. Sava Criminance, number 72. I'm an orderly on quarantine duty. Sava Criminance, 72, quarantine. Sounds familiar. What were you doing yesterday? We cleared out this place like you ordered. Remember the size of the crowd that showed up yesterday? You said a hospital's for doctors, not the sick. Correct. The school bell is for teachers, not the students. Parliament is no place for debate. Medical science is not for the people. Cura te ipsum. Basically, those who have the sandpest are beyond help. They're supposed to go to the general sick ward at the station to die. You had us give them morphine, laudanum, lead, and whatever else eases their pain. And the patients you wanted us to bring here were the rare ones who hadn't died within 5 hours and could even still walk. That is correct, they're the ones we're going to work with. I'm here to raise a collective complaint, Doctor. Doctor, these cloaks, they're very uncomfortable, sir. They make it hard to use hands, and you can't see a damn thing through the masks. On top of that, we have to burn them every night because each time we've been to an infected area. For starters, introduce yourself properly. Judas Maccabeus, no number. I'm not some item you can use. What means my name to you? Indeed, I can see you aspire to heroic deeds, Judas Maccabeus. Marat Takikin, number 28. Started my shift at 10. What's our plan for today, Doctor? The vaccine, obviously. We were unsuccessful yesterday and the day before, therefore today's plan remains the same. We've been catching those longs as you instructed. You know, the rare cases where you get infected but resist the sand pest for a time. We've got 3 again for today. Over there on the platform stage. Just 3. Shame. But at least we'll be on quickly. Doctor, last night we had a chat amongst ourselves, and there's something we don't get. What's, like, the point of figuring out that those longs are sick with? Besides the sand pest, they're gonna die either way. How does it help us if we figure out that they also have anemia? Or, I don't know, measles, on top of the earthen plague, I mean. To make this as simple as possible, the body wages wars. Whenever there's a disease, it sends its soldiers into battle. Sometimes those soldiers help fight the disease along the way, including undiagnosed ones. Hey, what's up, Sierra? Any thoughts right now? Nope, okay. Could it be yesterday's technique has proven to be the right one? As your assistant, it's my duty to inform you that among the recipients of yesterday's vaccine, there appears to be 0 mortality. That is to say, no notifications so far. You're not my assistant, Mr. Little. More of an extra pair of shoulders with no great burden to bear. Give me a report of what you've done in the meantime. Nothing much. Just playing this demo. While you were away, I tried my hand at diagnosing, using your procedure. Did you? I'm intrigued. So I noted down symptoms using your approach. I crossed off illnesses based on the principle of impossible combinations, but I didn't really get anywhere. You know, sometimes I try to think like you do. I give it my best try at that. I do just so I can understand a little. And I fail every time. The way your heads work is a complete mystery to me. Do you have the anamnesis? Oh, you're a bot, aren't you? This is not my favorite game. I'm playing through it for the first time. You know, sometimes I try to think like... Oh, that's exactly what I just put in. It's weird that it keeps like swapping back and forth between other people who I'm talking to. I don't think there's any point in interviewing them. They don't know the first thing about themselves. I'll say it again. Getting the patient's medical history or amnesis is your first priority. There are strictly 3 steps. Step 1, interviewing the patient. It always comes first. It always comes first, no matter how tongue-tied or confused they are, no matter how much they get wrong. The information is priceless, even if they're straight up lying. It's still important, just like if you were an investigator or a detective. But I'm no Pinkerton, unlike you. Step 2, the exam. This part requires your utmost attention, and when we take note of anything suspicious, we do it in the context of what the patient has told us. Any trifling body detail, a scratch, a bruise, a birthmark, might turn out to be important. Turn out to be important. Got it? And step 3, if required, a careful inspection of the surroundings the patient has lived in. Especially when you feel they're being coy, evasive, hiding something. In a word, lying. Reticence. Reticence? I think reticence is never without reason. That's when it becomes a good idea to go and inspect their home. Talk to neighbors and family. It always adds to the picture. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. Thank you. Then let's get to it. Next year, I'll show you. Observe and memorize. I won't be around forever. It's just a demo, but definitely enjoying it so far. I got More items? New personal file. Oh, sorry. So that's in this. Patient's charts. Orderlies brought 3 more people in. First day of patients. Inventory artifacts. Oh, casebook. First time playing the game. I'm enjoying it so far, though. Status married, 5th day of the plague, residence the flank, harmful habits, she's a smoker, clinical picture, fever. Finch, age 41, single, is a dyer, would sprawl, drinks in moderation, lat, a guard, clinical picture, weakness, okay. No, I have a job, just part-time. First stream in a while. I'm healthy. Just so you know, I don't have anything. That's for the autopsy to tell, my dear. Sorry, I meant to say examination. Look all you want, but I don't know what you're looking for. I looked for sores on me myself, couldn't find anything. You have a reason to look for them? Did you suspect them? I had a fever, that's why. 2 days of it, for no reason. But I'm better now, and I had no scratchies on my skin. No yellowing, no sandpaper scratchies, no drought of my mouth. Have you been to the isolation ward? Our house was cleared out after the infection came. People were sent wherever there was space. Comfort is a luxury right now. Some were lucky and ended up in an empty living room. Some got an attic or a cellar. Us, we were put in a boiler room. When it reaches our street, they rented up the whole caboodle of us for the isolation ward. Boiler room, you say? Was it turned on? Of course. The air was so stuffy in there, I tell you. But there was a silver lining. No sickness can survive that hellfire. Your sudden fever is easily explained, then. Actually, convincing, but I still need to examine you. Please undress there behind the screen. The patient must be examined and their symptoms added to the casebook. Open the casebook. This can also be done during the examination. Is time still progressing? 1 hour will be spent examining... No, 1 minute. Okay. Very pale skin, rarely leaves a room. Much time in the sun. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the stream if you're going to stay. Hematoma. Maybe she bumped into something. Maybe it's a symptom. I should ask where the bruise came from. Okay, so it's nice that this stops time and it takes just a minute for each time you change. Probably don't need to inspect the reverse every time. Let's see the casebook. Okay, so I can actually jot down this stuff. Oh god, how do I even adequately list this? Skin redness. Oh gosh, so many things to possibly diagnose. Cup of coffee, nice. Okay. An examination with no questions asked can only happen in a morgue. Sorry, I just forgot to read there. I told you everything last time, but if you say so, you're the doctor. Come here, Mr. Little. Let's fill in this patient's record together so that at least a modicum of knowledge settles in place in your head. You called, Mr. Dankovsky. I'm here, and ready to heed. So, Mr. Little, we have a patient here. She's claiming to be in good health despite having had a fever a few days ago. Do we take her word for it? Well, if she's had a fever, there must be a reason, and we have to find it. Remember this, a patient's self-evaluation may be incorrect. That's why you must ask specific questions about the symptoms, about what's come up during the exam, and about the patient's circumstances in daily life. I think I get it, in theory. God knows how it plays out in practice. I'll demonstrate. Observe and learn, Mr. Little. I won't be around forever. The patient is running a temperature, in other words, a fever. Open my casebook, look up fever, and tell me how many conditions is it listed as a symptom. Wait a second. Gee, 8! 8 diagnoses fit the bill. It's a frequent symptom, which means that you have to find others and narrow down the search. Then do it again and again until you're left with just one verdict. This, Mr. Little, is what's known as differential diagnosis. The name is self-explanatory. We differentiate between similar things to find out only the correct solution to our problem. I can't wait to give this method a try. From Idaho. How about yourself? Let's get down to it then. You look pale, ma'am. Has your skin been like this since birth? Or is this pallor recent? It's not like I get to look in the mirror a lot, living in a boiler room and all, but I don't think I've ever been pale. Rich do-nothings are pale. Me, I'm a commoner. So, pallor isn't typical for you. You're marking that as a symptom, Mr. Little. Add pallor to the fever in the record. What do we get? A mere 2 conditions, down from 8, it's like magic. A single symptom pallor eliminated 6 out of our 8 candidates. We're left with a choice of 2. Where did this hematoma come from, my good lady? I mean the bruise over here next to your wrist. Did you bump into something? Or is there someone who batters you? Don't worry, there's nothing to be embarrassed about when seeing a doctor. Hey, nice. I've got a buddy in Texas. I'm not embarrassed. Bruise, well, that's news to me. I've never seen it before, and I can't remember anything like what you're talking about. I certainly wasn't beat up. I must have bumped into something myself and forgotten about it with all the fuss. The boiler room's dark and cramped. That's probably where the bruise came from. Mr. Dankovsky, I'm seeing hematoma. This fancy bruise is on our list. Are you with us, Mr. Little? Pay attention. She doesn't remember how she got the bruise. You can only guess. The manual provides a more detailed description of the illness for the situation like this. What causes it? Who's susceptible, etc. It can give useful clues. Got it. When in doubt, read about the condition in detail. Practicing medicine takes more than checking the symptoms against a list with a schoolboy's diligence. You have to bring your reasoning into it. Here's one way to do it. Tell me, my good lady, do you garden? Do you grow anything? Anything at all, from roses to cucumbers? Cucumbers? Roses? I'm not following you at all, doctor. No, I've never liked digging and shoveling earth and all that. There. Earth. Does the boiler room you've been relocated to have an earthen floor, by any chance? That's right. It does have an earthen floor. The boiler room isn't really suited for living, but in these times, I'd be ungrateful to complain. How did you guess, doctor, about the earthen floor? Earth. There was something about earth in the manual. Wish I could remember where. It's simple. Oh, sorry, I thought I was still speaking as the bachelor. It's simple. All kinds of things can be found in your local soils, including microorganisms capable of disrupting circulation, hence the pallor. The bruises were not caused by trauma. A hematoma appears when blood vessel walls are damaged, either by an external force or, in this case, an illness, and the infection can be contracted from contact with the earth. We found our diagnosis. You're a genius, Dankovsky! Stop it with the idolizing. In a couple more days, you'll have gotten the gist of it at the very least. Bravo to you today. You're a true master of medicine, so the patient has the sandpest alongside. What's the other diagnosis? I've talked you through it all. You can finish it by yourself. The symptoms are fever, pallor, bruise. Put them together and you'll get your result. Actually, no. I'm going to fill in the patient's record now, and then you can read my verdict. What about me, doctor? Where am I to go now? What happens next? You'll remain here under observation, and your blood will be used for the vaccine. There's hope that everyone can benefit from this. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't actually have me run through it again. So now do I actually do this? Select all relevant symptoms. So let's see. Oh, so I can even cross those out. Hydrophobia, hallucinations, bulimia, loss of coordination. I don't even... Okay, so fever's in heart, not in head. Playing from PC. Hallucinations. I'm looking for pallor. I don't even know what ichthyosis is. This is the casebook. Do I have notes? Nope. Alright, back to the casebook. Geophagia? I don't know what geophagia is. So is that what all this stuff is? But no, these are the diagnoses. So, okay, so yeah, that's the list of things that she could have. Vomiting, belching, poor appetite, geophagia, burning sensation, rapid pulse, weakness, faint, slow pulse, paleness. There it is. I thought that you said that brought us down to 2. My God. Oh, it does bring us down to 2. Okay, I see how that works. So which one of these was bruising? Hematomas, cyanosis, dystrophy, red eye, headache, hydrophobia. So that's fear of water. Headache is a headache. Red eye's red eye. Dystrophy. What is dystrophy? Oh, like muscular dystrophy. So that's like breaking down. Weakness. Okay. Cyanosis. Bluish or purplish discoloration of the skin, so not you. And then hematomas. So hema, something with blood. Okay, so hematomas is... that is a bruise. Okay, and so where is hematomas listed? So anemic vasculopathy. Infection disease caused by microorganisms from the steppe soil entering the bloodstream. Okay, so that would make sense for if she was digging, but cases of airborne transmission are also reported, but require confirmation. The infection leads to anemia, which can manifest as a patient pallor, muscle weakness, or weight loss. Occasionally, patients may experience localized bleeding and hematomas. Acute cases display burst capillaries on the eye or high fever. Peasant plowmen, grave diggers, and other types of various people working with soil. She said she doesn't work in the sand, but yeah, we're gonna do it. Let's see, to confirm the diagnosis, hold X, and then you can close the casebook. Alright. So now I've got 2 more to go. Are you gonna burn me? Where did you get that idea? It's not exactly a secret. This whole thing is like putting out a wildfire. If someone's house is under suspicion, it's torched. If someone sneezes, the entire town district's sealed off. Sick and healthy folks alike. And then there's doubt about a healthy person. It's the isolation ward. Then those who do not have the sandpest, or do have the sandpest, are marched off and burned. Unnecessary measures, regrettably so. Any socials for the channel, you can find her linked right below. Mr. Tiny here told me that I could be useful to you before I die, that is. Said you can find something inside me that slows the pest down. So go ahead, find it. What do you need? Do you want to draw some blood from me? Alright then. Where did they bring you from? I walked here from home. Got it from my neighbors. Knew as soon as the skin on my chest started peeling away. So I waited a day. The neighbor's scream stopped in the middle of the night. Went to check on them in the morning. They were all dead. Me though, I was alive and walking. Now I'm here. Why do you need to know that, doctor? Might come in useful. What's your vocation? I'm a dyer. Been breathing on poisons for 5 years now. One day it's red, the next is blue, then yellow. Could it be that why my fever doesn't do me anything? Could it be why this fever of yours doesn't do me anything? Toxic pigments. It's a possibility. Oh, okay, so that's his heartbeat. I saw that. I thought it was like some meter for me. The peeling skin he mentioned, unlikely to be the stone disease, most likely eczema. Heartbeat's too fast, but it could be a personal trait. Nothing on the back. Arms. Yep, HSG has a Discord. That should also be linked below. I think it is. If it's not, you can go to the YouTube link. And that has links to both our Instagram and our Discord in all of our videos. So nothing on the legs. Okay, so there is yellow. Okay, there's reason to reverse every time. Yellow skin. Something wrong with his liver. Okay. So let's ask some questions. Have you sorted it out, Doctor? Will I be useful in remedies? My vaccine. It's a vaccine I'm working on, and so please allow me a couple of clarifying questions so I can be certain to your diagnosis. It's the plague, of course. The sandpest, isn't it? The plague, yes, but there's another condition that's prolonging your life. You said it yourself. Your neighbors didn't survive the night, but you're still holding up admirably. Well, blow me down. 2 ailments making me healthier than if I only had one. But you knew best, Doctor. What did you want to question me, right? Question me all you want. Complained that your skin on your chest was peeling. It was here, right? On the very middle. I knew right away. My skin turns nasty when you're plagued, right? It's not always like that. No, still no idea. Let's leave your peeling skin for now. Ready to talk about something else. Ready for anything. Let me take... Alright, I'll return later. Okay, so I think I've got all I need here. Let's see. No difficulty breathing. No cyanosis. Burning sensation in the chest. Fever. Rapid pulse. No sore throat, no lip lesions, nothing around the mouth, nothing around the eyes. Diarrhea, nausea, belching, poor appetite, heartburn, geophagia. Alright, let's look up more of what these things are. Oh, eating the earth. Geophagia. Alright, well that's not it. Let's see. So dystrophy. Can I get a simple definition for this? Which an organ or tissue wastes away. Okay, so yeah, just breaking down. So that's not it. Chest pain, coughing up blood, difficulty breathing, cyanosis. So it's not, nothing's turning blue. Yellowing of the skin. There we go. Oh, there's nothing that has both rapid pulse and yellowing of the skin. So the pulse might not have any relevance here. Doesn't have weakness. What's eczema? Chronic skin condition. Dry, itchy, bumpy. Okay. Is eczema an option here? Where is it an option, I should say? Stone disease, dystrophy, visual impairment. Alright, well, hepatitis is, I guess, the only thing that makes sense here. Liver necrosis. Be caused by viral infection. Poor hygiene and substance abuse significantly increases the risk of death. I mean, it's the only one that makes sense of the symptoms that we have, so we're going to lock in on that one. Alright. One last person to go through. Sierra Adamax. Alright, yeah, I'll check it out afterwards. Alright, flat. And that's the story of my life, and time's up to the present moment. But why you want to know all those details from me? I thought it was worth a taking, and it was all beside the point. I thought you'd be interested to know why the sandpest camp got me, Because I certainly find the fact interesting. I'd even say amazing. I'm interested too. Your blood may serve about 400 people by tomorrow morning, but only if I can correctly identify your other illness. You're sure you're not overstating my points, Doc? Right. Ogimsky corked the termitary shut, and you've been guarding it so far for 6 days? Since Tuesday? This is the third time you're asking me. May I ask you why you distrust me so? You said the termitary had been shut down in order to shield its residents from infection. Does that mean they knew there would be an epidemic? Who knows? At first they said there had been a blowout like some kind. Sweet suit. It settled in the walls later. Looked like mold. Well, the king was worried. They like bees. Is how they respond to things. Soon as one makes a noise, the rest on quiet as well. There was a mighty buzz in the hive, perhaps on the account of poisonous soup. Conditions are tough at the cannery, you know. What are the people in there saying? They're shouting, lots of clamour, nasty kind of clamour too. It's what you'd expect. They're not having a great time stuck in there like pickles in a jar. No regular meals, not enough to drink or go around either. The place, after all, a poorhouse. Our fat man trades his people like cattle. Getting through the day is a struggle. Small wonder they're slamming into walls. If it was up to me, if it were up to you, then what? You can't lock up a living creature against his will. It's how you turn people into proper beasts, but try so much for hinting at that at the old Pimsky yes-men. They're dead drunk on power. Used to be alright working with them, but no, I can't stand those guardsmen. Alright, let me ask you then. What time of day do you feel worse than usual? All the time. I used to be as hardy as a bull wrangler, but now I have trouble even standing up for long. I get drowsy, my knees give out. It's embarrassing. I feel like I'm fouling everyone. And this condition of yours is progressing? I don't take great interest in my own person, Doctor. Got enough people to spend my attention on as it is. But I have trouble doing my job because of this. It's a rugged man's job. Just rub down your undergarments, my good guardsman. I'm going to examine you. Since you're so preoccupied with my work as security guard, here's my advice to you, Doctor. You're being too heavy-handed. This lockdown of yours is making people seethe. And a cold drink can only seethe for so long before the lid flies off, even if you screw it down. Prepare to be examined. Okay, so redness, regular heartbeat, rash, something else. There are red spots on his face, too. Nothing on the back, nothing on the arms, nothing on the reverse. The veins are damaged. Oh, so is that the dystrophy then? Like he's breaking down? Okay. Oh, so I need to select the symptoms and then ask the patient. So that's why I wasn't able to ask the other guy about the stuff. Okay, so skin redness. A rash. I don't even know what the other one would be other than I forgot what it's called. Not Dionysus. Cyanosis. Man, I'm gonna know a lot of medical terms, but once this game actually comes up. Melting poor appetite, heartburn, dystrophy. So that doesn't make sense to have all of those. If I take away the rash... If I take away the redness, then I get stuff with those. Heartburn, geophagia, stomach pain, belching, vomiting, difficulty. Heartburn, poor appetite. So he didn't mind much to himself. I don't think that's enough to consider that. Bulimia, loss of oh, yes, he said drowsiness. So loss of coordination. Is there anything for specifically drowsiness? What is ichthyosis? I know there's the ichthyornis, which is a dolphin. Is that something with that? Dry, thickened, scaly skin. He did say dry skin. That appears scaly, rough, and red. Ichthyosis. He's got consumption. Oh yeah, weakness. That's what he said as well. Weakness. I'm missing so many symptoms here. Alright, let's uncheck dystrophy. Let's uncheck I mean, I guess all of it. Yeah, you know what? Let's leave it all on right now. Let's see what it does to the options. Where's dystrophy again? They're checking something. Okay. Not all symptoms have been selected. Carefully examine the patient. Oh, sorry. I didn't hit continue that time. Let me go, will you, doctor? I don't understand all this commotion about me. What makes me so special? Besides, I got work to do. Work? I'm sorry, but you're going to have to forget about your work for now. You must remain at the hospital. I used to guard locked up people. And now I've been locked up myself. That's life for you, innit? That's the kind of joke love place. It's not the same. Frankly, I don't see the point of the term. You have no idea how sick I am. How sick I am of the joke's life play. There's nothing to debate here. You can't stop a plague outbreak without putting strict measures in place. Oh, I was just musing to myself. What do you want me to do? Do I need to give blood? Or maybe take a pill? Before we get to the blood and pills, there'll be more questions. Are you ready to answer? Oh, I've told my entire life story, Doctor. You still want more? Ask away, then. How long have you had those red spots on your skin? Never had clear skin, me. It's not a clear skin life over here. Although, let me think. Actually, yeah, those spots you're pointing out are brand new. But you hadn't noticed them yourself. Well, I suppose that's asking too much for a worn-out working commoner. What's all that muttering, Doctor? I didn't need to. Alright, let's talk to you again. Further questions. Never mind, apparently that's it. Alright, not all symptoms have been selected. So he said he doesn't have itchy skin, so I wouldn't notice that. What is stone disease? Hard mineral deposits like stone, various organs involving the kidneys and stuff like that. Joint pain, lip lesions, nerves around the nose, burning sensation, fever, rapid pulse, vein damage. That should have been obvious. I just overlooked that one. There we go. You've noted the symptom that you can now ask the patient about. Okay. The veins on your legs, they don't look very healthy. Have you ever noticed that before? My legs? Oh, they're that way all the time. I spend standing up. It's my job as a security guard, 16 hours of standing every day, and the old Gimskis won't spare a stool for us to sit down on. Says it's not the proper way, bad for discipline. The way they run the meat processing place is quite something. They treat people like cattle. You're quite lost in thought, Doctor. Am I really that complicated? Can't wrap my head around a little old me being at the center of this brouhaha. There is a syndrome that fits the description, but it mostly affects drunks. So I'd like to ask you, good sir, do you consume alcohol? Do you do it on a regular basis? In what quantities? A quantity best described as God forbid. In my line of work, you must be alert. So my basis hasn't been regular since last year. Quite the contrary, I've been abstaining. Can't stand a drink of myself. Your moral fiber is of no concern to me. To drink or not to drink is a personal choice. Mine is a purely medical interest. I'm telling you, it's not regular. I don't have the habit. Period. No, I can't in good conscience put my stamp on a diagnosis. I don't have enough information, not without home inspection or neighbors' testimonies. I'm going to your house, sir. My house? Why not, Doctor? I can understand talking to me, feeling me up for head to toe, collecting my blood, but searching my home like I'm some bandit. What did I do wrong? You're not at fault at all. If anyone's to be blamed here, it's me for not spotting enough symptoms for a definitive diagnosis. Well, not at all what I'd expect from a man of medicine, going off to break into my house. Imagine that. Don't worry, I won't touch anything. I just need to take a look around. So I'm going to... Oh, there it is. To understand Philat's illness, I must understand his life. It looks... Okay, so this is the Harrispex he played as in Pathologic 2. It looks broken, Erdem. Ooh, the miniscope's broke. What did you want with it, Burak? Made any major advances in that vaccine of yours, Oinon? They say precision instruments help with that kind of thing. Alright, touche. You're as quick as your snappy retorts. I've done the autopsy for you already. Numbers 1-3 had gunk in their lungs. Numbers 2 had it in their bronchia. Are you saying it's pulmonary now? I'm not saying anything. I do the cutting, you do the thinking, right? I have my own storyline where I'm going to play what I deem right, and you'll have only a small part to play. It's not like, let's see, no, all these will end. For your storyline, as you call it, you could spend your spare time working here, though honestly, I'd advise you to save those hours for sleep. Okay, so I guess I'm now heading out. Anything else to say? Nope. I don't actually have any stamina here. People in masks. People in masks? Ukurni, arid by Nagi, Mendi Erdam, Amaka Meden Egye, Kara Egub. He wishes you many years of life, Erdem. The bulls I vaccinated yesterday, have you brought them? Shi, Yamar, Inya Debishi, Birkardine Kanab. Amaka. The bulls were stolen, Erdem. Kalish Terend, Bukanid, Ikud Baikada Baloko. Or maybe your bulls perished, even. Mother Bodo knows where. So have they died, or have they been stolen? Your dissemblings, stop it. Bukyara, Yugya Shada Klash them. Look, I'll return in an hour, and if they're not here... Nice. Alright, that's the step kid. The locals don't even turn their heads. Yeah, that's how they dress around here. I suppose our big city ways would seem as wild to them. Oh, so I'm actually walking through town. I was not thinking that was going to happen. What is this red thing over here? Oh, even the layout of the town's different. Why? What is wrong with my vision? Find the arches with the clocks.
Be quiet, you lot.
So, okay. To plot a route, select a district name and marker where you want to go. Travel time 48 minutes. So is it not gonna let me just walk there? No, okay. Alright, well this is where we're going. Dangerous districts require attention. They cannot be traversed using the map. You'll have to find an arch with a clock that isn't blocked. Why don't I just turn around? Oh, okay, so it's part of the tutorial. I see. Hey, the changeling.
Yet black cats
For Pathologic 4. Listen to me, Bachelor. Please, just set our differences aside. They're accusing me of being the Sand Plague itself. Oh, dearest colleague, how dare they? You must have been hurrying here so you could heal and bless the sick with your sainted touch. Don't you laugh at me. You know I'm helping you. We're in this together, working towards one goal. We're just different, so we each do it in our own ways, however we can. Bara, you're extremely suspicious, and that's a fact. I'd call you duplicitous, even. Two-faced. That wasn't me. Not me, but my double, my twin sister. I didn't know. I've told you that the hair specs of yours, too. He didn't believe me, for some reason, even though he did see us two together. These are your orderlies. These are the orderlies. Sorry, the background music is throwing off my speaking. These are the orderlies who arrested you, right? If you came from outside the district, they would have just sent you away, so you must have snuck in from the inside. If I misread that so badly, trying to speak with all this going on in the background. It's the other way around. I just feel where the infection will erupt next, and I go there to help. Please, you have to believe me. If only I had a single reason to believe you. If anyone, it's she who's ruining my reputation, my twin sister. She must be here somewhere trying to look around. Try looking around, you might be able to catch her. Will you believe me then? Farewell, you pitiful, delusional changeling. Those poor devils are looters. They just kept on coming today. There was a rumor that an out-of-town bandit who was packing firepower had been getting busier here, until suddenly he wasn't anymore. Can't shoot the sandpest, you know, but everyone fancies a firearm these days, so they're flocking to his mortal remains like moths to the flame. So townspeople are arming themselves. They're preparing for the worst by the looks of it, as if this could get any worse. I'm not going to send you the request right now. I'll send you a request afterwards. We're managing for now. Those moths had a little ammo on them, and some pilfered odds and ends. One fool had stuffed his knapsack full of tin spoons. Probably never seen real silver in his life. Everything of value's been sent to the town. We kept the ammo. Right, hand over the ammo. Every last round. And how did this charming lady end up here? The charming lady doctor has an interesting knack for showing up in places as soon as the sandpest hits. We've noticed it 3 days in a row now, so we've detained her. We're not sure where to put her now, but she's quite talkative, and we were rather bored in here. Quite interesting indeed. Come hoc ergo propter hoc, right? New items, healing poultice, revolver bullets. Or pockets. Consumables can be kept within reach, quickly used. Okay. So I need to increase my mania, right? Yeah. Healing poultice. I have no idea at this point what blah blah. Sedative. Okay, so do I actually have to... No, okay. That's the sedative, okay. The Plague's Fog conceals danger. 1 to equip the prototype. Oh. Okay, that's a little janky.
You're too high-strung.
Hold left click to charge the prototype. Release after the pendulum stops. The infected ones lying on the ground cannot be saved, only relieved of suffering. If I help them in their passage from this world, I can take their time for myself. Wait. I will draw my gun only in dangerous districts. Euthanasia requires the same resource as combating my own mind. A correct dose must be administered. Inject drugs, shift the cursor along the gauge. You must land within the highlighted zone before the dying person's heartbeat spikes. Overdosing will amplify suffering, and I must alleviate it. Collect a dying person's time. Okay. So it looks like I misunderstood what the highlighted portion was there. The patient's passage away was swift. So I stole their time, interestingly. Oh. Fascinating. So now I need to go all the way around here, yeah. What the hell? Any other patients whose time I can steal? I didn't actually see if that changed my time either. Out of curiosity.
Damn them.
I don't even know what that's doing. It's shifting the gauge up top, but that's all I'm seeing. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay, so is that what I need to fend away? So that, like, calms you? Okay. So that's 80, so I need a small amount here. Okay. Oh, mania goes left. Okay, I gotcha. Can I... There we go. The patient's passage away was swift and painless. So I need to avoid you? So what happens if I hit you? Interesting. Oh, nice. Just having a loot all button here. So did that... Oh, it's my mania? Is that what it's messing with? Oh, and now that I've increased my mania, I'm faster. Okay. Hey, what's up, Paula? Oh god, is their sound effect glitched? Okay, good, it's gone now. Oh, or maybe not. Could have stayed home and not risked it. Cling to his routine. No, couldn't have. I wouldn't be able to either. Can't talk to anybody. Oh god. Alright, well that might be a glitched audio effect there. Can I go into shops? Okay, so I'm guessing this travel mechanic is just for this. This is the guy's house, right? Yes. So it's a healthy district. Yeah, okay, that's still happening. Alright, I'm gonna finish Act 2 here and then hopefully that'll be it. I just mopped that floor and now you're walking all over it. It took forever to scrub, to clean. Apologies, I'm not very good at walking in a handstand. My legs always veer off to the left. Okay, I'm gonna have to mute that here shortly. Okay, at the very least we're gonna turn that down. If the locals are right, a doctor... Sorry. If the locals are right, a doctor is more likely an enemy than a pal, which of course merits its own study, an anthropological one, on tendencies towards self-destruction. What's up, Gary? Happy to hear that, Paula. Well, all I see now are tendencies towards bathroom destruction on your part, the mud on your shoes. My shoes wouldn't be muddy if patients answered my questions instead of lying like little kids. I don't enjoy dragging myself across town to collect someone's medical history. So, Falat's in the hospital. Perhaps that's for the best. A person getting sick is for the best. Yeah, I forgot to take my meds. Don't you shame me. I've helped him out his whole life with cooking and cleaning and whatnot. He was a loner with no one to take care of him, and it wasn't too much trouble for me. We were neighbors after all. He and my husband had been friends since they were kids. Doesn't that just sound idyllic? We drifted apart, a little at a time, as time went on, but he used to always thank me. Then one day it was like, bam, he forgot everything, never said a word anymore, scurried past me to his apartment, eyes down, no hello, no goodbye, but he sure showed his bathroom, who's boss. So the sort of frenzied rage isn't typical of Falat. He never trashed anything before and was well behaved. What kind of person is this typical of is an easy guess. You often get this with drunks. One moment he sits there quietly and then he's delirious all of a sudden. With all that ruckus and mess, at least he didn't punch anyone out. Has he been a drunk for long? Was this his first delirium? He didn't drink before, but go ahead and look out the window. The town's falling to pieces. It's enough to make a saint start drinking. It's like people who have gone crazy. Some grabbed a bottle, some grabbed a knife. It's hard to stay human. Everyone's inner beast is looking to break out. So, you know for certain that Filat trashed the place in a drunken haze, or is that just what you're assuming? Well, what do you think happened? He didn't just trash the shared bathroom. He was sick all over it. The whole place a mess. I thought I'd never get it clean. You know what it's like to mop up someone else's vomit? How would a smart dresser like you know that? Filat vomited. That's what matters. It's a symptom that hasn't been noted before. Oh my god, I wish I could shut this clock up. Okay, look, Paula, if this is gonna end with you trying to scam me in a Discord message, you can just stop right here. Have you figured out everything you needed? I'd like to finish with the cleaning here. The kids from downstairs will be here soon to wash their hands before eating. They'll be better off if they don't see this mess. Can we go back to his drinking once more? Your delirium hypothesis is logical, but it's only conjecture. In fact, his denial of a drinking habit sounded very sincere to me. He wants to confess something shameful like that. The thing is, lifelong blah 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 blah. I hope he's ashamed. If anyone's a darn guess, it's like he's become a completely different man. For all I know, he's lost sense of himself entirely. Gone completely off his rocker. Off his rocker. That's something new again. Are you sure you didn't just talk about the bathroom incident? Or is there evidence that he's off his rocker? He has episodes, you know. Before he thrashed the house, I'd hear muttering coming from behind his door every night, and he lives alone, no family, no one visits him. My husband and I used to be his only friends. He started talking to himself, and that's a sure sign. You may be right after all. Hallucinations do point towards delirium. Well, are we done now? I have my limits too, you know. Mopping floors is hard enough, but bad-mouthing a former friend is harder. I'm sorry for the poor dummy. Just a minute. Is there something else you can tell me about the Filat? Do you happen to know any illnesses he's had in the past? God, I hate this clock. Alright, cool. Peace, Paula. No, that man was never sick, strong enough and tough as a cart horse. And I mean, I could easily imagine him pulling an actual cart. That's why they hired him to guard. You two talked more often at the time, huh? Yeah, okay, that's about what I thought. We're just gonna... If you ask me, Filat may be built for the job, but it's not a job for him. The Termitaire needs security. But he was getting sentimental about them. That's why he and I fell out. We argued about whether worms and herb rides were equals some security. Aw, man, it's a shame I like this guy now. He argued with me, too, about whether it's right to keep people locked up, about whether people should be isolated. What a thing to say. Stop trying to confuse me. I don't have time to pick your philosophizing apart. Anyway, I've got a bathroom to finish cleaning. Filat got into philosophizing, too. You both destroyed our friendship and made him an alcoholic. There's no good sign of that. Where's Filat's room? I'd like to take a look before I go. It's further down the hallway. Here's the key. I've got work to do. Okay, yeah, you've been very helpful. Alright, holy shit, this clock. Alright, I have muted all sound effects for the time being. Oh, hey, what's up, kid? Signed by Erdem. Oh, so you're a stepchild. A steep child. Well, this is news. Neighbor told me Filat lived alone. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. You're angry. I am angry. I've got nowhere to go. Don't kick me out. You're a kitten burglar, perhaps. Not going back to the Warren. What's the Warren? You call it the Termitaire. You smell like danger. Go on your way. Will you tell me what's in here, then? In detail. People are there. Or what's in there, sorry. How did you get past the guards? I'll tell. Just let me go. There's a crawl hole out of the Warren. Helped me go around any guards. Why didn't you stay there? Let me guess. Love struck? Or did you break the code of laws? You can speak properly. Don't pretend to be daft. Akai Filat took me in, hid, sheltered, so no one sees. No one returns me to the Warren. Your neighbor heard anyways, but don't worry, she thought Filat was out of his mind. If you keep quiet, she won't notice you. Where's Akai Filat? You in Balakab? How is he? Finally, some sensible talk. He's in the hospital. He's ill. I'm a doctor, and I need to find out what he's ill with. Will you help me? I will. Filat sickens. I saw it. He sickens. Does he drink? At first glance, I can't see a single bottle. Not a drop. Strict on himself. Doesn't allow me either. So the neighbor was mistaken after all. How else can I help? Save Falat. Stay put. Don't dare sneak away. I need to look around and then I'll ask more in a bit. Okay, so now I've got to investigate the place. Oh. Neighbor claims Falat is drunk, trashing the house, talking voices. What the? 2 patients turned over, 2 something. The third one is tough. Investigative, need to clarify his diagnosis. What's the thing that was popping up over here? The kid? Oh, okay. Genuinely concerned about Falat and escape from the termitary lockdown. That's the bathroom, so that is the smashed mirror. This place is a mess. Alright, let's see if by any chance... Alright. I'll leave it as just like that background, very minute ticking.
Every creak, like a gunshot.
Clues must be closely examined, yeah. What am I supposed to do here? He used to be quite unbothersome. He destroyed the bathroom. Is this a clue?
Never alone.
2 patients turned over.
Things
As the
everywhere.
assistant, third one is tough nut to crack. A little investigation is needed to clarify his diagnosis. The clock is nothing, so green means it's nothing. Oh, food? Who would eat it? Even rats would probably be disgusted. Was that what I'm missing? Is that the clue I'm missing? He's eating old bread? Oh, on the bed, huh? Wet rags, he used to put them on his forehead. No labels on the pill, can't tell what they are. Alright, let's talk to you again. Alright, what will you tell me about what happened to Falat? I will. I saw it. He sickens. I found some pills. What are these? We don't use these in the steep. He said that they were for his headache. Another symptom? Good. His head hurt. These rags on the bed were used in a compress to bind something hot or cold over an injury. Do you know anything about that? I do. He said he was hot, tossed and turned. I put a cold on him. So he had a fever. Didn't mention that either. I worry for him. There's something rotten on the table. Did you eat it? Hungry. We needed to. He's not rich. He pays the guards so little. Boost Vlad pays the guards so little. It was enough for one, not enough with me. Hard to feed two. Falat looked for cheap food. They cheated, sold rottens. I understand. Let's see. Did he not get sick from food poisoning? This is scary. Never thought he'd eat the rot. Then his hunger came, grabbed everything, gobbled everything. I took away, hid, told him bad, rotten will hurt. He didn't listen, like possessed, some hungry beast. Sudden hunger, should I add bulimia to the symptoms? Never saw a man wolf bad food like that. Stay put, don't you dare sneak away. I need to look around and then ask a bit more in a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and change his symptoms here. Okay, so he said he always had a rash, so I'm just gonna ignore that stuff. Let's change, I'm gonna change this to just what the kid's saying. Headache, bulimia, oh shit, what was the other one? So it was eating, he had a headache, what was the third thing? The bandages. He was bandaged with something, he was wrapping up. Oh, fever, that's what he had. Nephropathia epidemica, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Epidemica, caused by a group of viruses varying contract. Rapid fever, heartbeat after 3 days, a rash appears on the skin, facial flushing becomes evident. The disease causes internal bleeding, leading to patient death. Okay, that also has a rash included with it. And vomiting and nausea, yeah, that makes sense. Let me mark everything else here. Coughing up blood, difficulty breathing. No. Ichthyosis, stone disease, skin, redness and rash. Not diarrhea. Vomiting, that was it. I think that was everything. So you promised to help me. Will you tell me what happened to Falat? I will. I saw he sickens. Okay, so that's nothing there. What about the other options? Stay put. Okay, let's go talk to the woman. Nothing. Okay, so am I done here? So there's more clues still. So those are the pills. There's that. Window. Stuff on the ground. No. Maybe it's in the other room, something I missed? So I can't talk to you anymore, so it's gotta be something with the kid. Oh, there it is. A mouse trap. The bait inside is fresh. Sign by in there, damn. Now that you've promised to help me, no. I don't believe I'll find anything else in this boat. I'm no detective after all, but now we may discuss my findings. Are you ready for his hallucination? But that's not crazy. Don't joke about this, Herdam. What's this mouse trap doing here? Is it just in case, or are there any actual mice in this place? Lots of them. Walk here like it's their home. Mice and rats spread disease. A diagnosis is coming to mind at once. But I need to double check. Townsfolk live in houses, call us beasts, cleaner in the steppe, better. They know nothing, Tineg. So mice, headaches, fever, hunger, vomiting, fatigue, skin reddening. The veins are ruled out, but what happened in the bathroom? The neighbor says Falat said drunkenly, no, he doesn't drink. He'd eaten bad food, couldn't keep it down, didn't want to make a mess in here, so he went to where he could. And then there's waters there for washing. Falat said water scared him. Heard the dripping, went crazy. Can men be scared of water? Hydrophobia. Okay. Thank you, young man. Yep, and then that fits the nephrophemia. Where's hydrophobia? Is that in brain? Yep. Okay. So that is all I need, right? We done? We done? Okay, cool. We're done. To get... Can I actually trade now? Auto? Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Interesting. Okay, so that's 2 each. Alright, so trading is a little bit more tedious so far. Hey, you know what? Oh, god dang. Can I just grab one? Oh, okay, that's... Alright, that needs to have a better way. Hey, there you go, kid. Okay, let's see. Doctor of Sleep, 2 patients turned over to the assistant. The third one is tough enough to crack. Have to investigate the house. Third patient. Okay, yeah, so that's all the investigating the house. Okay, so I can't finish. I can't diagnose him yet, can I? No, so I have to be in the hospital. So now I'm making my way back. Is there another exit here? Oh yeah, there's one right behind me. So trying to sprint changes like my mental state? Is that what's happening there? Oh, okay, so I have to go through the other one. So to move faster, I need to increase my mania. Yeah, so now I'm way faster. Looks like my heart rate is adjusting based on what happens here. Actually, there's a meter, so that way I could tell how much I can sprint for. Oh, the termitary actually has a gate in front of it. I wonder if that's temporary. Okay, so I'm guessing I have to go back into the district here. Yep, okay. That did it, okay. Audio effects back up. So if I step in here, is that a downside? Guess not. Interesting. Such a weird effect. It's also weird that it wants me to, like, avoid the guards. Okay, so that's happened again. I still don't know what the actual effects of that are, if anything. Okay, so touching them causes problems no matter what. So I touch this.
Boiling, crackling, screeching.
So it increases my mania. Okay, and staying between those little parentheses up top is like the ideal state.
It was quiet in Fanatica.
So interacting with trash is like a free way to up your mania. Hey, I know you. A Senite of good life to you, Edem. Here are your bulls. Bikara, are you still not glad to have them? Glad to hear it, but are you quite certain that these are the same bulls? Can you not tell the bulls' faces apart? You can't even tell Ondonga apart from their faces, Agesh. We are all the same to him, like beasts. By the way, how come you're here and not the Odong? Are they afraid? I'll punish them after their carelessness. You've insulted them. The worms don't want to deal with you anymore. The worms believe you're a bad man, a churlish, ungrateful man. My Akmai. Don't they want this epidemic to be over? Are you going to take our bull's blood? I am, but later. For now, leave them here. Seek a bull's wisdom. Interesting. Probably don't say that. I got an achievement pop.
It's more honest now.
So that, I'm not sure if it was in talking to them or if it was breaking the mirror that decreased my mania. Well, 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 if it ain't the lying little prick. Finally, I've been waiting for you, Dr. Denkovsky. As you can see, I've allowed our volunteer orderlies to leave on break, but they'll all return as soon as you give the word. Good. Rest is necessary. Let them have a smoke, visit their families. Who knows? They might not get a chance. Another chance. Consider it done. But what about the third patient, Falat? The termitary guard. Do you have a diagnosis? I haven't put him to sleep yet. I thought he might be useful to you again. I need to verify a few things with Falat. Just to be sure to put in the document. Just be sure to put in the document and stamp it too. Thank you. In such chaos it might slip my mind, but first I'll have a word with Falat. So, look who's a lying little prick. Here you are. Here you are. What took you so long, Doctor? Did my mind detain you? You're joking despite your nerves. That's a good sign. You can relax. I've seen it, and your secret has been uncovered. So you met him. I tried to protect him with everything I had. I went to your hospital so he wouldn't catch it from me. And then you lied. You described fatigue, but you'd been nauseous, feverish, and much more. I've never been a good liar. If I told you too much, you'd know something was changing my bandages, that I needed money to feed 2 mouths, so I talked as little as I could. Regardless, I found out. Nothing to hide now. Sure, I led the boy through a hidden passage, away from the slaughterhouse. He's just a kid, Doctor. It was such a hardship that brought me to the cannery, and just like that, Fat Flat put him to work. Young or old, it doesn't matter to the old Glimskys. It's Olgimskaya? But it does say Olgimsky. I remember someone in like the second game saying Olgimskaya. They say everyone to the factories. This is of little interest to me. You disobeyed orders. I tell your superiors that the vaccination weren't so important. I'm no hero, but I was taught to draw the line somewhere. I treat people like people. Period. I've done what I could. So you believe the dormitory's door should be flung wide open, now during the epidemic? They'll starve people to death in the dormitory, and not just there either. While you were out here, or while you were out, I overheard people in the hospital. Are you the tyrant who ordered a quarantine? I'm the tyrant, you are the rebel, and no one will be able to tell the difference in the morgue. Those are dangerous games you play, Doctor. I'm not the only one who doesn't like the restrictions. Today, people endure, tomorrow too, but in the days that follow, they'll erupt. I told you, you can't humiliate a living being without suffering consequences, and this imprisonment humiliates the town a second time. You try to shame me, as if the quarantine were held within, or were some whim I had, if only we had another way. This won't end well, I tell you. Neither of us can tell the future. And Falat, I came to talk about your diagnosis. Drink this glass of water, please, before we continue. Ugh, take that away. I can't stand hearing this slosh and get it away from me. The decisive symptom has now been confirmed. This is enough to make the diagnosis. That is neuropathia epidemica. Blah, blah, blah. Facial flushing, evident, cause internal bleeding. Risk groups, people in contact with animals. I can't believe I just said animal. With animals, rural residents. All right. I've checked the records. You diagnosed all 3 oddities who didn't quickly die from the plague. You're a mental giant, a luminary. You still don't know if my diagnoses are correct. We awaited your verdict with bated breath. What next? The vaccine? Searching the town for more people with the same symptoms as there as today's 3? Certainly. The same as yesterday. Consider it done. And after that, how much culture should we take? What temperature? What should we heat it at? Reduce my prior instruction by 1.5 degrees. Don't add too much water. We need a culture medium, but follow dilution charts. We've gotten it down to the last 2 nights. We'll manage without supervision, I promise. Rest without fear that we'd ever disgrace you. So, Dr. Dankovsky, sir, do you give us permission to proceed? Shall we start? Make up your mind, Daniel Dankovsky, vaunted Bachelor of Medicine. They'll believe you, luminary. What's going on? I couldn't hear you. Do we begin or not? We do. Nam qui id quad, vitari non potest metuit, es vivere animo queto nullam modo potest. Oh, is there more stuff to loot? Oh, everything's going black. Oh, dang. Could have gotten loaded here. Is that a schmouter? A butterfly in a box. Okay, so that's a new resource.
I could use some quiet.
Alright, so what am I supposed to do now? Leave? Are we done? Okay, diagnosis made, but there was an error. Today's vaccine, which my assistants are struggling to produce, will save no one tomorrow. Okay, so I made a mistake. It was probably in that first patient. You've done all that you could, senor. Go on and rest. They wait for you in the Stillwater. Yes, I suppose you're right. Eva is the one I need right now. Okay, I'm gonna hope that this saves, because I've got a session about to start, so that's gonna be it for me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Let's go to the main menu here first, actually. Let's go to continue. Okay, picks up right there. Cool. Alright, I'm not sure when the next time I'll stream is. Possibly tonight, possibly tomorrow. we'll see. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.